We come out there, and I remember I came in this silver outfit, and I had my hair done. I think a couple of hours before I had my hair really pulled back tight in plaits. What was I thinking?
And he came into the ring and he was absolutely smouldering, on fire. But Michael Watson remained unnerved. The bell went and Nigel was just going out for all-out war.
Well, he's come out firing as he said he would, Ben, as he always does in a contest.
I thought to myself, yeah, I'm just going to annihilate him for the first couple of rounds. It was banging. And Michael was just doing that.
Like, I've got to protect my head, keep covered up and weather the storm, and then pump yourself out. That's exactly what he did.
He winked at my dad to say, I got your boy, you know? So he knew what he had to do.
What an incredible fight. Oh, he's gone. So, the big hitter has been hit in the 6th round, and the way he backed off from that punch in the eye, it looked as though he wasn't sure he'd been counted out on his feet there, and I don't think the crowd can believe this, and I know that Ben can't. And to be fair to Ben, he's gone straight over to Watson, as if to say, listen, you're the better man.
And Michael just hit me with, I think it was just a straight punch. I just went down. I was tired. I just burnt up so much energy. It was just like, I was just exhausted.
Well, I saw Nigel, he come over to me, and said, I told you I'll be here. That's when he did.
There was shock and amazement at Nigel's fans because this is the first time he'd been beaten in 20-odd fights. And and Watson had, in fairness, taken him apart.
And I got back to the changing room, and it was just me and my jock strap. That was the only thing that was left. Everybody left me and said, look, gotta go, Nige. I win Michael.
When we come home, all the horns and the people upstairs with the band and the music, and it was really tremendous.
Despite Watson's fabulous night, the headlines were as much about the Dark Destroyer's comeback, and Michael was in a sense overshadowed.
Michael sort of slipped back in a way after that fight. Promotionally, he wasn't pushed in the same manner as I was pushing Eubank and Ben was being pushed. And I can imagine that must have been quite frustrating for Michael.
Entrepreneur Barry Hearn teamed up with Michael when he won the purse bid for the world title chance against the body snatcher Mike McCallum. A date was set and both fighters honed their bodies into pristine condition.
So many times in Michael's career you can look back and say, what happened if? Things that perhaps didn't go to plan, whether it's the ABA finals, whether it was the Jimmy Cook fight. And Mike McCallum was Michael's one big chance to move on to the world stage against a totally world-class opponent. And in the last round of sparring, Michael broke his nose. That was another watershed moment in Michael's life.
By the revised fight time, he had to contend with inactivity, and McCallum then inflicted the second professional defeat on Watson.
Michael probably should have had a warm-up fight prior to the McCallum fight. But just in case, I think with the mindset of what happens if something goes wrong in a warm-up fight, we went straight for McCallum.
This is a war. Watson's gone and out, and he will not get up.
He fought me at my worst. He struggled to beat me at my worst. I gave him the hardest part of his life. That's me being at my worst.
After the crushing loss, Michael decided to split from Mickey Duff, concerned that he wasn't getting the financial recognition he felt he deserved. A long legal battle followed, and a landmark case that inspired other fighters to protect their interests.
He took Mickey Duff to court because he said it was a conflict of interest, him being both the manager and the promoter. He went to the High Court and he won. Without a doubt, that had a major impact on the sport, and the Board of Control in effect had to change the rules or rewrite the rules and make it more favourable towards the boxer, which was very significant.
It was back to the boxing business for Michael Watson. when eye-catching victories over Errol Christie, Craig Trotter and Anthony Brown led to the super fight the fans had demanded, a mouth-watering match with Chris Eubank.
Eubank is this eccentric, extraordinary person, unbeaten, unblemished record against the man that defeated the greatest of the super middleweights at the time, Nigel Benn, and the one that the public warmed to, the ordinary guy, if you like, rather than the showman.
The Watson-Eubank fights were initiated because this is the business. The best must fight the best.
The first fight, I actually told Michael, Chris is strong, but you can beat him.
This is quite an entrance, I tell you. Unbelievable. Well, whether you like him or whether you hate him, you must admit the guy has got class. The guy has got style.
From the first round, I've been complete control. Run around the ring, every punch I hit me, it's screaming.
I didn't respect his abilities. I thought I had the beating of him.
What a fight. Now this is going to be down to who's the fittest of the two guys and who wants it the most.
What I remember of the first fight, that Michael gave Chris a good beating.
What a brilliant fight. One of the best, Jimmy, one of the best.
This is one of the best I've seen for a long time. Both guys are going to think they've got the title. Now it's up to the judges.
I'm just waiting to hear the new world champion.
The winner and still he's got it. Champion of the world.
Eubank has retained his title.
There's lots of people out there that thought Michael Watson won that fight. I know Michael Watson thought he won that fight. You couldn't have argued with the decision, frankly, if it had gone either way very closely. It was a very, very difficult fight to score.
Michael didn't do enough to win the fight. When you're fighting a champion, as I was, it has to be taken away from you, not negotiated.
I can't explain the feeling. I've never had that feeling before. To have the feeling of injustice in the first fight. Steal the belt away from me.
I'll give him his due. He fought good, but I fought like a dog, and that's why I got this decision tonight.
The day after, they had on headline on newspaper, Watson robbed. A lot of people were totally appalled what happened.
The country went up against me, and every celebrity I can think of came out at the time and said that Michael had been robbed and he deserved a rematch, and I was agitated, but it's kind of like a game of which I was playing for real.
It was, of course, a highly controversial decision. Many felt that Michael had suffered an injustice, which only a rematch could rectify.
I said, right, let's do the rematch. And that's where, the whole saga then really began.
The Watson-Eubank clash had generated heated discussion. A rematch was made for September the 21st, 1991 at White Hart Lane.
Chris feared nobody. At the end of the day, he believed in his own ability in the same way as Michael Watson believed in his, which is why it was such a classic confrontation.
By now, Jimmy Tibbs was Michael's trainer working at West Ham Amateur Boxing Gym behind the Black Lion. For Watson, there was no escaping the pressure. It came from a fear of letting down his fans and a genuine worry that his fighting future was on the line.
The pressure worked for me big time. It gave me more drive, more adrenaline.
We got training for that fight in West Ham Boys Boxing Club. We brought a lot of sparring partners in. He was wonderful trained, got him highly tuned, he was beautiful. And he always used to skip the gospel music.
Michael won that win so badly. And I think he gave his all.
This was going to be life-changing, this was the moment.
It was one of the most anticipated rematches in British boxing history. Chris Eubank had won the WBO middleweight title and was undefeated. Now he stepped up for the vacant super middleweight crown.
My physical condition is 100%. I haven't felt better in ages.
I am the glamour. I am the man. If you want money, you have to come to where I am.
Michael had been crowned the People's Champion, and the boxing public turned out in force as he made his way to White Hart Lane. Unbelievably, it would be almost 2 years before Michael returned home.
Second fight, change room, my heart told me to, tonight, big problem.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting and introducing to you from Islington in London, Michael Watson! And his opponent, Chris Eubank!
From the referee said box, Michael stayed on me and he backed me up.
He's like the man against the boy.
We knew what Chris can do. He don't like fighting 3 minutes around. So we made him fight 3 minutes around. We made him.
All of them like a rash. He had no control.
Every round it was pressure, body, head, body. And I'm sure Chris will be the first one to say he's never fought anyone so strong.
The Watson fan club wakes up, and Watson looking supremely confident at the moment.
You're like a piece of rag in the wind. And that's how I was, because it never stopped. He beat me in every single department for 11 rounds.
I've got a lot of respect for Michael inside the ring and outside the ring, and no person more than me would like to see Michael win a title. Come on, Mike!
Oh, it's desperation time for Eubank. Watson firmly in control. Well, Watson could be on the brink of the world title he wants so badly.
I threw everything I had at him in about just coming up to the second minute. And I had nothing, absolutely nothing left.
Eubank slowly running out of gas, just being punched to pieces at the moment here.
Watson was so far ahead, Eubank needed a knockout. And there was a flurry of punches, and Eubank went down on his knees, I think for the first time in his career.
What a round! What a round! And he's down!
In truth, I wish he had hit me hard enough to actually concuss me, so that I genuinely could not carry on.
He looked at Michael and waved him forward as if to say, "You got to finish me. I'm a gladiator. I'm going to be carried out on my shield."
I moved my right leg forward, my left leg, and I threw an uppercut which caught him. And that effectively won me the fight.
Back he comes. Oh, he's got Watson down. I don't believe this. Watson is gone. He's
out
looking.
completely dead.
There's the bell.
So that punch, in effect, changed boxing, changed Michael's life.
I remember going back to some corner, and they'd done their best to revive me.
I remember saying to him, "Are you all right? Are you all right?" He said, and the words he used, he went, "Jim, I'm fine."
And I shouted to Jimmy, stop the fight, put the tower, stop the fight.
Sat him in the corner, asked him again in front of the boxing board of control inspector, who was in our corner, "Are you all right?" "I'm fine, Jim." So I sent him out for the 12th round. So all you got to do is stand up, don't get hit, you're world champion.
There's 3 minutes of mayhem before us now. Watson still looks groggy.
Nobody was to know the damage that was done, and